Hello guys, today I'm going to tell you a life story of Bear Grylls, which is going to show you the power of bad times, challenges and problems in life. And it is going to change your life. So let's get started. Bear Grylls said in his book, "There is no education like adversity. There is no great teacher like bad times, difficulties and challenges in life." You might have seen many heroes in movies like Iron Man, Tarzan, Thor, many more. But the Bear Grylls, it is the real hero who is known for doing incredible and for doing impossible things, which you can't even think of doing, not even in our dreams. Whether this man did them fearlessly, and it is because of his strong and fearless mindset and attitude. But the important thing is, Bear Grylls' attitude wasn't always like this. The man you see now on TV with the fearless attitude and a strong mindset was once weak, scared, anxious, and depressed. If you know how much hardship the Bear Grylls has gone through, you lose your sleep. As Bear Grylls said in his book, Mud, Sweat and Tears, that fear forces you to look tough on the outside, but makes you weak on the inside. His most weakness point was the fear of heights, which is called acrophobia. But you have seen him to jump from a plane or to do skydiving in every episode of Man vs. Wild. Isn't it a miracle? He was also in the UK Special Force, which is called the SAS, where he used to do parachuting. He was an expert at parachuting. He jumped from the plane fearlessly so many times. At the age of 21 in 1996, he jumped from a height of 16,000 feet during a SAS training exercise in Zambia. But this time, his parachute did not open. When he saw upward and realized that the parachute did not open, he hurriedly started pulling the parachute latch so the parachute can open itself properly. But because of his hastiness, he reached near the land and he did not have much time to open the reserve parachute. And then he fell down on his back. The moment he fell down on the land, darkness fell around. He felt an excruciating pain. And despite falling from such altitude, he was conscious. Still, he was feeling that pain and breathing in motion. He was lying down in pain, waiting for his team and giving himself the hope that his team yet to come. He can't move and he was crying in pain because deep inside he was feeling what he lost today. There has been a huge damage in his body. In that moment, he could not bear the pain. He said that death was better than that enduring this pain. And then his team came and took him to the hospital in Africa. Then the treatment started. He felt that the doctors inject him in his back and slowly his pain started reducing. He felt that he was healing in that moment. So he was trying to move and get up. But the doctor said you cannot move or walk again in your life. And by hearing this, the 21-year-old boy just got shocked. He felt that everything is just finished in his life. His life is just destroyed. Just imagine you are 21 years old and you came to know that you cannot walk or stand up again in your life. What would you do then? So when he saw the X-ray report, he saw that 3 of his spinal vertebrae was broken, T8, T10, T12. And you know, these are the most strongest parts of the waist, which are broken. The young man who climbed the mountain many times now cannot even go to the washroom by walking. He said in his speech that he did not feel as much pain when he fell from 16,000 feet altitude and broke his back as he felt in the hospital since the last 1 year during healing and treatment. Now what he left is just thinking. He was thinking and thinking and thinking, lying down in bed in hospital. He was thinking that he can't walk anymore. Never again in his life. He was overthinking whether his purpose and passion was to travel, adventure, walking in nature, jumping. It's like he was born for adventure and to explore and he was living with dream. But now he cannot do these things anymore. This accident has just destroyed everything. His hope, his dream, his passion, his everything. And because of this, he can't sleep at night. He used to wake up suddenly and cry. Every night he was just regretting. Sometimes he blamed himself. He hates himself. And in this way, he became depressed and anxious. 2 months have passed in this way, but nothing changed. It's like when your mind is not happy or it is depressed, your body doesn't heal that way. There has no improvement in his health and the pain was continuously increasing. And because of that, he was becoming more negative and depressed. Many of his team members who knew Bear Grylls was telling that Bear is so positive. He is a strong person. But the truth is, Bear was just 21 years old then. He could not figuring out what to do in this situation. He didn't have any idea what is going to happen in life because he was broken from inside. You can imagine the pain, guys. And he was saying clearly that his dream is going to die gradually. Then one day in the midnight, when he was sleeping and thinking, he saw a picture. It was the Mount Everest. Suddenly he remembered that his father and he had a dream that one day he will climb the Mount Everest. Seeing that photo frame got dusty on it, he thought that his dream got dusty too, and that makes him to regret more. That night he was alone, so he dared to stand up and walk to reach near the photo and went to the photo frame and clean the photo frame. And then by doing this, he was thinking he should clean his dream too. He was thinking that how does he can give himself the hope? How does he can accomplish his dream? And by thinking this, he fall asleep. And this photo just fit in his subconscious mind. And his subconscious mind just gave him a new hope. The next morning when he woke up, he was feeling so positive. And that is why he just remembered his grandma. She told him something. His grandma was a spiritual person. And she used to say that, always remember, Beer, what is happening for good. Learn to accept what is happening. It is the human and we complains and regret about things always and finds ways to get into depression and problems. His grandma said, whenever you face any challenges or hardship in life, say yourself that everything happens according to God's plan and decision. That is why nothing can ever go wrong. And he just felt the actual meaning of these words deeply. He realized that if God wants, then he can die in that day, in that situation, because of this accident. But because he's alive right now, then it's simple that God might have a better plan for him. And just after realizing that, he stopped thinking about the future. He stopped thinking that what will happen in his life. Will he be able to walk again? Will he be able to join his special force? He let go everything, every thoughts. He has just released the heavy loaded baggage of past, future, or life from his shoulder. Now he is free and there is nothing which can make him depressed. When he stopped overthinking, his mind became stable and negativity started reducing. And then his stress get reducing. So at first he repaired his mind. He reset his mindset. And when the mind get healed, his body started healing itself automatically. The wounds begin to heal. The speed of joining bones started increasing. See guys, life is full of struggles and bad times. Winston Churchill once said, a pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. That means every bad times, every challenges brings a new opportunity, a new beginning or a new start. It gives a rebirth. Then he remembered that his closest friend, Ed Amis, who told him simply that miracles really happen in life. And see, you were reborn. Because of this accident, I believe it. He said, now I'm like a newborn baby boy. We have no worries or stress about my past or future. What I do now is I feel grateful for my present moment. Grylls says life doesn't often give us a second chances, but if it does, be bloody grateful. And that is why he was grateful for everything that happened to him. As Albert Einstein once said, if you want to get out of depression or disappointment, if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal. So that day in the hospital, he took that picture of Mount Everest and promised himself as soon as he gets better, he will climb the peak of the Mount Everest. If there is one thing that has helped him to come out of depression, then it is his goal. Because till now there is no goal in his life. And that is why he was depressed. There was no reason to live his life till now. But now he has a goal. So he started talking about his goal. He told people that when he will get better, he will climb the mountain. But the people just ignored him. People just cannot believe these things. But his dream was clear. He was certain about this dream. He has just had to be healed as soon as possible. Now both his mind and body had a goal to chase, and they can work together on it. Grylls said 3 months after the accident, the pain started to subside. After 8 months, I discharged from the hospital, and after a year, I completely healed and recovered. But the doctors advised him that he cannot join the special force or he cannot train. But he had a dream, and in order to accomplish that dream, he needed $30,000. But he has no job or money, and that is why he wrote proposal for sponsorship to almost 250 companies. But he got rejected everywhere he go. He faced rejection 250 times. Sometimes he felt hopeless. And in that situation, he remembered that he promised himself he will live his life without any fear and doubt. He will never lose hope, and that is why, even after being rejected, he never gave up. But then somehow he made the CEO of a company, the Armed Force Charity. He had only 2 minutes to impress him. And finally, the CEO became impressed and showed interest in Grylls by seeing the excitement and motivation in his attitude, and gave him the sponsorship of $10,000. 18 months later, after the accident, he finally accomplished his dream at 7:22 a.m. on May 26, 1998. Grylls became the youngest Briton to climb Mount Everest at only 23. But the journey was too tough. The actual ascent of Everest took 90 days enduring extreme weather. 2 months of limited sleep, and running out of oxygen. In the upper regions of the death zone, Bear cheated death 2 times. He faced the death and came back alive. 4 of his teammates have already died in that mission. And after that, his life story became so famous all over the world. He became the idol of many people. So many people and companies started inviting him in their seminar as a speaker. People loved listening his stories. Some documentaries are made on his life. And finally, the Discovery Network invited him to work with him. And then the Man vs. Wild show is met. And it gave him a name, fame, everything. Right? Now he is known by the name the Man vs. Wild all over the world. You know that. And I believe that, I'm sure that you are one of them. Right? Tell me guys, write in the comment section, do you, used to watch the Man vs. Wild show or not? If you know Bear Grylls or not, you just understand the power. I just understood the power of bad times and challenges and problems in life, right? If Bear Grylls didn't fall in that day from that plane, that day his parachute did work correctly, then he would never become the Man vs. Wild. So